It is a little after 4 o'clock. Thank you for coming to our quick hit series. And today's topic is the importance of academic advising in the transfer process. This is being brought to you by the Career and Transfer Services Department. My name is Lanita Nikki Hughes. I go by Nikki. I am a senior specialist at the North Las Vegas campus. You will see my contact information with my email and phone on the slide. And this slide will be available if you are interested in receiving this. We can definitely email this slide out, this PowerPoint presentation out to you. So academic advisors, which are a part of this transfer process, play an integral role in promoting student success. They connect with students on a regular basis. You don't just go to them just when you are looking to get your classes. They help identify pathways to your academic success. They act as interpreters and advocates for you. And they also help to identify roadblocks to graduation and transfer. They can see things on your degree sheet or some of the classes you may have taken to be able to help you through this transfer process. Academic advisors' responsibility is to provide accurate and timely information about your degree and career-related requirements. Because they are very well versed in the degrees, they can definitely help you go through those degrees and make sure that you're on the correct path. They can empower each student to make independent and informed decisions. They can be knowledgeable about policies and procedures. They can serve as your guide, your teacher, your facilitator, which is really important if you're not really sure about the process and how the whole system works. It's very new to students to try to figure out and navigate through this process. And they also can be a coach and a counselor for you as well to be able to talk you through making sure that you're graduating and matriculating you through the process. They can make appropriate referrals, and whether it be, to see a counselor if you're having retention issues, to the Career and Transfer Services Department if you're still unsure about what you want to study, or if you need help in the tutoring center, they can make a referral for you as well. They encourage active engagement in the curriculum-based advising process by using the degree audit programs. At any time during this process, you are more than welcome to go to them and ask for a degree audit to make sure that you've taken the appropriate classes and that you are on track for graduation. They can advise from an integrated perspective of general education major, minors, experiential learning, and study abroad. There's a lot of doors that are open. I know that CSN is really looking into opening the study abroad program back up after COVID has calmed down a little bit. We are looking for students to be able to go abroad. They ensure smooth transition for students declaring and changing majors. Students change majors all the time, but if you're not meeting with an academic advisor, you may not be sure that you are on the correct path for your new major. So it is very imperative that if you are deciding on changing your major, that you speak to an academic advisor, because it may affect you when it's time to transfer. And they provide realistic options for students' decision making and encourage reasonable time to degree. If you are working full time, I know I am a former academic advisor, and there were times when my students would say, well, how many classes should I take? I'm always was realistic that if you are a full-time student, you may not necessarily need to take a full-time caseload because it could affect your GPA. In the end, it's ultimately up to you and what you know that you can handle, but academic advisors do assist you in making those decisions. So what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to be proactive, seek help and advice early in the semester. Understand the role of the advisors and how to contact them. Are you making regular appointments to see them, and are you staying in contact with the academic advisor that you have been helping that is a part of your area of study? Become familiar with requirements for your major, minor, general education, and graduation requirements. It's not on the academic advisor to know all these things. They provide you the information in your degree sheet, but it's up to you to make sure that you are staying on top of what your needs are for your degree. Know your current GPA. I can't tell you how many students that I met with that when I asked them what their GPA is, they don't know. A lot of them don't even know how many credits they've earned. So really, it is up to you. You can log into My CSN and really look at those things to be able to make sure that you know how many credits you have. Because a lot of time we've had students when we were in advising that had the credits to graduate. They were just taking extra classes. And I would say, did you know that you could have graduated last semester? Oh, no one told me. That really is on the student. Make sure that you're keeping up with dates and deadlines on the academic calendar. If you need to drop classes, that's why transfer advising is very key. If you are planning on dropping a class, make sure that you are meeting with an academic advisor, because it may affect you getting into the college that you're trying to get to, because you may not be able to take that class the next semester. It may not be offered in the fall or spring. You may have to take it in the summer, because that may be the only time that it's offered. Frequently check your CSN.edu email. I can't stress that enough. There's a lot of information that goes to your student email that does not come into your personal email, and you need to make sure that you're checking your email. Know that advisors are helpful and available during registration and non-registration periods. This is actually a downtime right now because there is no registration going on. If you have questions, this is a perfect time to really get those questions asked about your degree, and making sure that you are still on pace, especially if you had some bumps in the road during the process. One thing I can tell you more than anything is make sure to schedule and arrive on time for your appointment with an advisor, because the advisor only has maybe 15 or 30 minutes, and if you come late, then you're taking time from the next student that's behind you. So make sure that you're on time. Check your degree audit, prepare your questions, and create a course schedule before meeting with your advisor. Go into the room in the meeting knowing what you want to ask. Make notes and keep all paperwork forms from advising sessions. I know most advisors typically give you something when you leave their office, to discuss what you guys talked about while you were in the session. So make sure that you're keeping up with all of that, and be familiar with and utilize the undergraduate catalog. It's a comprehensive online source of academic policies, procedures, course descriptions, and requirements. The beautiful thing about CSN, we do have our catalog online, so you don't have to wait to meet with an academic advisor to see what your course requirements are. You can easily go online to the catalog and pull up your degree sheet, and also look at the classes that you are needing for your degree, and even delve into those classes to see what the descriptions are for those courses. Advising is a process, and I can't stress this enough. Take an active role in this process. Initiate contact with your advisor early in the semester, whether it be an email, phone call, or just going in. Schedule an appointment, plan to meet throughout the semester. Familiar yourself with the College of Southern Nevada's requirements and what you need. Download advising sheets for potential majors. And I put the click here because on this sheet, it will go directly to the CSN.edu catalog, where all the majors will pull up, and you can actually look at those degree sheets online. Before you meet with your advisor, think about these following things: courses that interest you, because there are some degree sheets where you can actually choose some of your courses. They're not necessarily requirements, so you kind of get some choices. So know which ones that interest you. That's why it's very important to go back to that catalog. Do you need any prerequisites? If you're thinking about a nursing program, of course, there are going to be prerequisites to transfer if you're thinking about going to UNLV or Nevada State. So make sure that you know what those prerequisites are. Also know what worked well this semester, what didn't. As I mentioned before, you may have taken 15 credits this semester and you're like, oh, that was a bit too much. And so maybe I need to go down to 12 or 9. So be prepared to, answer those questions about what really worked and what didn't. Maybe you didn't use the tutoring center enough for your English class, and maybe you need to go to the writing center a little bit more, or maybe you didn't reach out to your professor like you should have, or you didn't really know how to interact with your professor. Make sure that you talk about these things when you're meeting with your academic advisor. What majors interest you? Do a little research. So when you're meeting with your advisor, you really can, be able to be a part of the conversation instead of having the academic advisor dictate to you. And that's really important, especially as you're thinking about transferring, because you want to make sure that the major that you're in at CSN is transferable to the college that you're looking at. That's why it's very important that you are meeting with those academic advisors. And also discuss possible career pathways. Now, you definitely will talk about career pathways with academic advisors, but you really will come back to career and transfer services, where really we dive into what that career pathway will look like, especially with the degree plan that you are on. Be forthcoming. Discuss what you like or dislike about your schedule. You make up your own schedule, but there may be that, hey, my work schedule doesn't really work for me to take most of these classes on a Monday or a Wednesday. Maybe I need to look at Tuesday and Thursday classes. Share your academic difficulties that you are experiencing. It's very important because there's so many resources that we have at CSN. And if you don't share them with the academic advisor, then they really can't know where to refer you to. Know what you don't want. I always tell students, be very active. Academic advisors should be part of the process. They are not the creator of your destiny. So make sure that you know what you want and what you don't want. Try and be specific about what you do want. If you want 12 credits, then take 12 credits. If the advisor is telling you 15, then say, no, I only can take 12 or only want to go part-time. You need to be very specific about what you want. If you're not a student that is really good in math, then when you're talking to an academic advisor and they're telling you, well, this is going to be part of the degree requirement and math is not your thing, be prepared to listen to that hard conversation from the academic advisor. If math is not your thing and yet you're wanting to be an engineer, know that math and science are going to be big parts of that process. And what's the big picture? The big picture is we want you to graduate. And so we are here to assist you to be able to make sure that you will graduate. And so therefore, making sure that you are meeting with that transfer, the academic advising during the transfer process will help us get you there a lot sooner. Ask about, are you on course to complete your degree requirements? As I stated before, a lot of students don't keep up with their degrees. You should take that degree sheet and mark off the classes that you've taken, so then you'll know what classes you need to take to finish. What's your academic standing? You may have taken classes, but what grades did you get in those classes? Did you get F's and D's? So that may mean that you may need to take those classes again. And that's very important, because if they're major classes, you need to have a C or better in those major classes. And if you failed a class in your major, you may not be able to go into to transfer into the college of your choice. And then, when can we meet again? Ask about the next meeting. When should I come back and see you again so I can make sure that I am going to graduate? I always tell my students that definitely they push meeting with academic advisors in the beginning, but it is also very important that you meet with them as it's time for you to graduate, so that you're making sure that you are on task to graduate. Be open to suggestions. Consider new ideas and approaches. A lot of times academic advisors see things maybe that you don't see. And so be open to suggestions. I know one of the things that me as a former academic advisor, I would make sure that the classes that I gave you kind of equaled out as far as whether or not they're all hard or easy. So I kind of would do like a mixed schedule. So if you're going to take a math and science, you might take a communication class and a sociology class. So be open to those suggestions. Consider alternative course options. And the reason you have to be open is because sometimes classes close. So the advisor really is only advising you of what classes that are open. They don't have the luxury to go tell a teacher to open a class for you. So be open to those alternative course options. And don't be offended if you are encouraged to use campus resources. As I said, you have to be very open. We can look at your grades, and if we see, hey, that maybe you're not really doing that well in writing, hey, maybe you need to go to the tutor center, writer center. So don't be offended. We're just here to help. We want you to graduate. So please don't be offended when those suggestions are offered. To schedule an appointment with an academic advisor, you would go to the academic advising page on CSN. The link is here. So definitely it's www.csn.edu/advising. That's how you would start it. On their page, I just kind of copied and pasted some main points that are on their page. This is how you get started with an academic advisor. You can schedule an appointment Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 8:30 to 4, or you can have a quick check-in, which is express advising, first come, first serve, no appointment, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8:30 to 3:30. To schedule the appointment, follow the instructions under the How to Schedule an Appointment headline below. And to meet with an advisor during express advising, students should check into the advising queue for their preferred campus, and you can do by phone or in person. When you reach the front of the queue, it explains, that you will receive a phone call from an academic advisor. If you have chosen in person, you'll receive a text message. And below it tells you what the express advising sessions are limited to. So if you need more than this, you need to do the appointments, which are 30 minutes. So if you are looking for course recommendations, advising hold removals, general questions, or campus referrals, you definitely can do the express advising. But if you need a little bit more thorough conversation about degree audits, the transfer process, or transfer questions as it relates to your degree, definitely seek to make an appointment. At this time, if there are any questions, you are more than welcome to email me to the email address that is on the right here. If you have any questions, please email them to me. You can also email us at cats@csn.edu. Thank you for participating in our presentation. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you.